Hi, my name is Shanth Enjeti, coming to you from the heart of Lovecraft country. Tonight we're going to be talking to Rob Hunter, a 27-year veteran of the comic book industry. Rob's beautiful artwork has graced DC Comics' Justice League, Dark Knight, and Batman. His Marvel work has included Iron Man, the Uncanny X-Men, and a host of others. Tonight I'm going to be talking with Rob about his creator-owned comic book, funding right now on INDIEGOGO and in its final week. You don't want to miss this book. Death Raider is a meticulously illustrated, beautiful adventure story. Marine Raider Staff Sergeant Cody Moore gains enhanced intelligence when he's forced to destroy alien technology in the heat of a firefight. Moore is struck by shrapnel that lodges in his brain and forms a rudimentary connection with the alien technology. At this point, he starts receiving bursts of information about that technology, and this allows him to build the Death Raider armor. With his team wiped out, and with this new information, this new technology, this new armor, and the assistance of Dr. Anna Toussaint, he has to go on the run because the aliens are still after him. Is he going to be able to stop them? Is he going to be able to defeat them? That is what this comic book is about. So stay tuned for a really exciting episode of the He-Men Comic Makers Club, talking with Rob Hunter, the writer and artist of Death Raider, right now.
The meeting is now in order. Now what do you say if we form a new club?
Buckwheat. Clubhouse is open.
The rules of this club must be obeyed.
What is up, everybody? How are you doing? My name is Shanth Enjeti. This is Shanth Enjeti Art, coming to you live from the heart of Lovecraft country, in the birthplace of American religious liberty. And we have a special guest with us here today, the one, the only, Rob Hunter. Rob, it is great to have you here, brother. We're going to be talking Death Raider. What's up, man?
Oh, dude, it is fucking crazy. It is,
yeah, man.
Everything. The whole, like, once I decided, I gotta add the Brett Booth cover to the campaign.
Yeah.
There's not gonna be a Death Raider 2 if I wait. Mm-hmm. You know, like the way things are going, it's like now or never.
Amen.
It's just been insane. We're trying to get it inked. Just shout it to the colorist. Like, literally, as you're introing me, I'm fighting with Adobe to resize it for INDIEGOGO.
That's right, man.
I don't know if it's just me, but Adobe Photoshop runs so slow, and I'm paying the subscription. I'm getting the latest updates. It is the biggest piece of shit.
I'm telling you right now, if it ain't broke, fix it till it is. That's the Adobe motto.
That's what I did for years. Finally,
I'm telling you, man.
I think when I updated to Windows 10, I had to update Windows.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you what, man. I'm excited to be talking about this book, and it's crazy because I was a little nervous about some of my pronunciations and some of my story summary. How did I do, Rob?
Dude,
wrong?
What I get wrong? You made me feel like a tiny, tiny little man because you did a better job than I have. Every goddamn time on Kings, I'm like, I'm going to keep my mouth shut and just go to Shanth, please.
My God, man. And that is why I hide, you know, because I go on Kings and Ethan's like, do a pitch for Nosfero. And I'm like, there's gouache. You know, and people go, what is the book about? And I think that's one of the greatest things, you know, I'm about being in Comicsgate and getting to be around folks you can learn from. One of the best things in the world is when I was putting together my next book, my next project I'm doing, I came up with a basic two-thing pitch, and I've learned this from watching, you know, John do this and you know, kind of seeing him talk about things and break things down, and I'm like, my next comic book spring ball is The Evil Dead meets Spider-Man. Done. Like, getting it to that point. And I was looking at this book, and the things that kept coming up for me, and I don't know if this is these two are too left field for it, but I started thinking about, it's almost like Iron Man meets what's that movie called?
Wolverine.
Live, Die, Repeat. Do you know that movie?
Wait a minute. Sounds familiar. Sounds familiar. Is that with
Tom Cruise?
What's it called though? That's not the actual title of it.
I know it's called something else. I can't remember it, and the chat's gonna help me, guys. What is the actual name of that movie?
I always forget.
The Edge of Tomorrow. My wife just said from the other room. She goes, The Edge of Tomorrow. For the love of God, Shanth. Yeah, man. And my man Eric Weathers is here. It's good to see you, brother. All my channel members right here, right now. I love seeing you guys. Thank you so much, guys. So you got to show me the campaign homepage. Take me there. Let's see where we're at number-wise, because I want to get this thing moving. I'm very excited about this book, man. It's beautiful.
Oh, dude, thank you. We broke 27, and that's all because of the Brett Booth cover.
Yeah, man.
And which is awesome. And I really, even on Kings, I even told people, I was being very honest. Like, hey, man, this has been a 2-year campaign. It's a small campaign. I funded it with my freelance work. I funded it with my savings. And then, of course, all the backers that have been so generous. But I'm like, I really need to get into the 30s, or this is it for me and my comic book career, just because the nature of the business. So it's very exciting, and it feels good to see the momentum, and to be able to keep up the momentum will be, if I can keep up the momentum, that'll be fantastic. But here's, this is a double page spread. This is really right here. This is the shot of like he is in the armor, taking it for a test ride for the first time, really, and he's using the sensors and the electronics inside it he's tracking an energy signature, and then we just jumped. This is page 1, and page 1 is it's him in Team KOR before he loses his legs, and this book is an origin story. It's like he was already a hero, and I really wanted to do is I wanted to take someone who, he's more than a hero. He's physically enhanced. He's got, it's kind of like the Captain America serum inside him. I wanted him to be already a physical specimen plus, and then beat him down, lose his legs, and then turn him into what he's never been, which is the smartest guy in the room. Yeah. And that's kind of the crux of the story, and watching the story evolve over 72 pages.
72 pages. And guys, outside of the beautiful artwork, which is outstanding, it's funny when you were talking about this, and the more I was thinking about it, I'm like going, it's almost like if Darth Vader was a hero. He's got all of the power, he's got all this stuff, and then he ends up in this suit, but except for in this case, it's almost like it's plus, it makes it even more powerful. And it's it's a really cool thing, about it. Go ahead. Sorry, Rob. Continue.
Well, he builds the suit because he starts to within the pages. Like I've shared all of the pages. I really just to try to keep the campaign going. Like John Malin's like, dude, he almost shares nothing. Buy it or don't buy it. I have the following. Yes. So I'm like, well, I wish I could do that, but I got to share everything. So,
sure. Yeah.
He because of alien tech that's in his brain, the only thing that actually helps him with massive migraines is reading books. So he's on a submarine. He's in hiding, and he's just reading all the books he can get a hold of. And he invents his first device, and the device is to help keep him so that the evil big bads can't track him. And then it just moves on from there. Like there's a scene where Anna goes, "Oh, you're such a smart guy now. Why are you still in a wheelchair?" And that's kind of the crux of like him moving, to the next level. And we explore all that. Like literally, I have a scene that I shared on Twitter where she's like, he picks the city, like where are we gonna hide? Hide out. She's like, I think you'll like this room, and it's a room full of tech, and The world that they're living in has had multiple wars. It kind of like the world we are now, just a little bit ahead. And she's like, well, this room is full of a bunch of CIA confiscated tech crap that we didn't know what to do with. We have no idea what it does. And he's in his wheelchair and he looks like a fat kid in a candy store. And he's just like, oh, and that's
because
the
his brain is starving, right? Like his brain is starved. And I have a question here in the chat. And actually, first I got to read. We have a celebration for Mark's Music Obsession, 13 months. Hail all in the chat. Look at the spiffy Shanth. Yes, I'm wearing a button down. You know, when Rob Hunter comes on your show, Rob said to me, he had this list that were like, you know, red M&Ms, all this crazy stuff. And he said, and I need you in a button down. And I said, fine. And he goes, but no pants. You know, as Rob gets what he wants, that's how he does it. You know, and so thank you. I've got to send a cheerleader your way. So here you go, my friend. You know, we got to keep it real here, Rob. That's how it goes. And I have a question. I
like all the gimmicks and stuff. I love that.
You got to look. You know what's so funny is that I remember early on in CG, way back, when Ethan was talking about the Beatles and he talked about make show. You know, Mach Chow, I think is what he was saying. The German was that they were getting shouted at them. And I always thought, man, you know, it's putting the energy into this stuff because, look, guys, what Rob says, and I have a question for you here from Jeremy Burgess, is saying, how do I add on? How do I do the add-ons of the different Brett Booth covers and cover B? So if you could help him maybe with that.
Okay. I honestly, I've never purchased anything off of Indiegogo.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I'm a poor artist. You know, it's been a struggle. So I've actually never purchased anything off of Indiegogo. So I hope I set, like when I set up most of the stuff on this on the page, dude, it was over a year ago. So when I was adding the Brett Booth stuff before Kings yesterday, I'm like, I hope I'm doing it right. In theory, he picks one cover to start with, or one item to start with.
And then clicks on the add-on. Yep.
Yes, and then there should be add-ons. If I did it correctly. Now, he can yell at me if I didn't do it right, and then I'll have to actually get into the campaign and fix that.
Yeah, Jeremy, let us know if you're able to do that and what you're running into. And I have, this one always is a tongue twister for me. I've got Scorpio, which is just, that's always a rough one. I backed cover B and the black and white version a few weeks ago.
Nice.
So we should point out that anybody who backs the campaign or does an add-on during this stream, you will also get a cheerleader. Just let us know what your backer number is and what you do. We'd like to keep the cheerleaders flowing. That sounds horrible, but we got the opportunity right here to get a black and white edition of this book as well. And if you have not seen the black and white artwork for this book, in addition to the color, I know you probably got some pages here. It is a stunner in either black and white or color. And I was noticing when I was looking at the color work, you know, you've got 72 pages. This is a big tome. And that's why we want to get this number moving, because, you know, we live or die by our backers. And this is the stuff that we do because we care about creating new culture, new pop culture that's funded by you guys. You guys are the folks who make all this stuff possible. So if you haven't backed this book yet, and you're somebody who has backed Nosfero, you know, already, and you're like, when I want to add to my library, I know a lot of you guys have already done that, please back this book. And if you haven't backed Nosfero, for heaven's sake, back this book, because we want to get this number moving. We want to get this number moving because it is a great book. And so let us know if you have any questions about that. So walk me through this. I had a question. Tell me more about this doctor that he teams up with and how they meet. Their relationship, I'm assuming, was before they went in, you know, guns a-blazing, and he came out in the shape that he did, right?
Oh yeah. It's she was his main contact in medical for Team KOR because of the drugs, because of the super serum soldier serum that is in everyone in Team KOR. So she was the main contact, but not only is she the main contact, she's a spy. And she is blackmailed into sneaking Death Raider, his real name Brody Wilson. I
Yeah.
think I have on the campaign Cody, but my
Uh-huh.
wife is like, she's like, I named him Brody, not Cody. So I'm like, oh, that's right. I'll have to change that before printing. But Anna sneaks him off base because she is blackmailed by a general that's, you always got to have that fatherly figure in the story. And I have a general that looks a little bit like Sean Connery in the book. I did that on purpose because every time I was doing dialogue, I was like, he would talk to Anna and he would blackmail her. And every time I thought of it, it would sound like Sean Connery, even though he's American general. But so he blackmails her and says, "Hey,
Sean Connery does not change his accent, no matter what he plays."
No. So he's like, "Hey, you got to sneak our boy off base, and you got to keep him hidden because everybody's after him. Everybody wants a piece of him." The general, I don't put in the issue. I hint at it that he knows something big is going on. I mean, he's, there are things afoot in the military. There's things afoot in the corporate world because the corporate world works very closely with the military for all their technology. And he knows there's things that are going on. He even knows that the super soldier serum, Americans didn't just come up with that. That's a derivative of something else. So she, you can either sit in jail or sneak Brody off base and hide him, and away you go. Here's your new life, And she accepts the responsibility and that she's getting blackmailed, and she's like, okay, fine. So, and that's that. Away they go, and that's really. None of my heroes are doing things because they want to. They're doing them out of survival. Whether it's Anna doesn't want to be in prison, Death Raider. Well, he does want revenge on his fallen teammates, but he also wants to live. And he really builds the armor out because he knows the forces that are coming after him. He can't do it as a dude in a wheelchair.
So I've got Jeremy Burgess saying the Brett Booth covers don't have add-ons, and the original books don't have the Brett Booth available as add-ons. So I have an idea. Why don't I kick this screen out and I'll put up some artwork, and we'll see if I can help you do the add-ons if you need help at all with it. I don't know if you do, but we should definitely get that going because I'm sure there's a lot of people who want to set those for add-ons. So let me kick this out, and then I'm going to put up, just so you don't share anything you're working on. And then let me make this visible here so we have some beautiful artwork up in this space while you work. Yeah, one of the things that was really interesting for me, at least when I was doing Indiegogo, is there were so many changes that happened on it, and one of those was the add-on tiers, and you get to go in and you can say it's like set up a regular perk, and then it's also got in the perk section set up as set up add-on perks and what the add-ons can go to. And it's a really great way to give people as many options as possible. But for me, I had done like 2 campaigns and I had no idea that was a thing. So we're going to take a look at that, Gregory. Rob's going to take a look at that because we want to make sure you can get those add-ons, or, if you buy, this is an add-on for the Brett Booth cover, or, and the Brett Booth cover is an add-on for all these other covers. Because it's to me, when I read the name Brett Booth, like a lot of comics come into my head. A lot of really happy memories, man. A lot of really happy memories.
Yeah,
great stuff.
For sure. I always messed with them. I always like, dude, why aren't you just following Jim? When we were both working at DC, I'm like, I mean, the extra money that you'll be making if you just jump on, if you just, Jim does a run on Batman, you do a run on Batman. Jim does a run on, and he said he didn't want to. He just said he didn't. He felt like that having to follow Jim, everyone would just compare him to Jim, and I was just like, in the industry, I'm just like, why aren't the editors like, oh, dude, we really need, like, there's no consistency.
Yeah,
in the Marvel and DC industry, and it's insane. I used to say that all the time. I used to tell him when I was inking Ed Bennis, and even when I wasn't inking Ed Bennis anymore, I go, you have all these Ed Bennis guys in the studio. Why aren't I inking those guys for consistency?
Yeah,
You know?
I love this. Jeremy Burgess says, thanks, Shanth. I got the original Nosfero book, and it's amazing. Thank you so much, Jeremy. I really do appreciate that. Thanks for helping Rob. I want to give him more money. I like where your head is at, Jeremy. I like where your head is at.
I appreciate that, Jeremy, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to do Death Raider 2. And
we want this, guys. We depend on you guys to make these things be able to happen and be able to be sustainable. And one of the things about, and I'll vamp for a little bit while you take a look at that. So, one of the things, and if you need a hand, let me know. I'm happy. I
do, because I'm staring at it and I don't know what I did wrong. Because I'm right here. I'm at the page. I'm on for instance, the Brett Booth cover, pencil cover.
Okay, so go to and create a new perk.
Well, I have it as an add-on perk already.
Oh, you do? Okay, so now all you have to do is select the other perks and select that it can be an add-on for them. That's the next step you have to do. So you click on them, and I think it says allow this to be an add-on for each perk. Like you then you select it, I think.
Oh, okay. Let me try that. So I just would like any of the other ones. Let me just pick. I'll pick cover A and add-ons.
Probably have an option for select add-ons or something. It might have. I almost want to go.
Yes. And I just choose all the.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And then for the Brett Booth, you can do the exact same thing. Guys, and you guys know we are, me at least, I can't speak for Rob, I am a turbo boomer. That means my rascal has an extra set of wheels, and I'm just going down the highway. That's how I work.
I find it strange because it does list so many things that I did give it, like for Death Raider cover A, the add-ons on it. But it's still like here's all the things that are already part of the add-ons that you can do. But then it still lists everything to check on it. Like it's very weird. Like I'm literally going, wait, should I just say check on it again, check everything again just in case? Like it's
yeah, I mean this is the thing that's wild about it. So what I did is I set up an add-on perk, and then I realized that you can do this as an add-on for everything. I forget exactly, but there was a subcategory, and then you got to do save changes once you do all of that stuff, because that's the other aspect of it. So yeah, it's always, I've had those moments where I was able, and I'm very grateful to him for this, to launch the Nosfero Second Chance on Ethan's channel. But much like what happened with Mike, I kept trying to launch it and it kept not working. And like I'm on Ethan's channel and I'm going, oh, this is a glorious humiliation. Another day in my life. And Sergeant Politeness, it is great to see you. Hi, Comicsgate, going back for seconds for one of those booth covers. Great work, Rob. That's what we like to hear, guys. Let me know. We have cheerleaders here, so let me know when you back during this stream. We do have cheerleaders. I'm going to give you guys a sample as Rob continues to get that thing, and then we'll let you know what we got. Here you go, guys. Charge! Whoa, I got to fix this second part. That's my problem. I got to get that one set up because it goes to the next screen, so I've got to put us into that one too. But guys, think about it. This is how we get it done, it's so funny because one of the best parts of Comicsgate for me have been the conversations, that we have in the secret underground tunnel about racism. No, the best part of it is calling somebody up and or just talking to someone in chat. And I remember Shane told me and my wife about that him and Yanzi were using pirate ship to ship, and we were having a horrible time with Stamps.com. I mean, my wife was just speaking in profanity tongues like in A Christmas Story in the other room over how frustrating Stamps.com was. She'd lose things she entered. She couldn't do certain things like, I forget what it was, but certain international things wouldn't allow for media shipping and all this other stuff. and Pirate Ship was just 1,000 times better. And that's the stuff that really makes a difference. Talking about printers, how do you export files from InDesign, all of the sexy parts of Comicsgate, and how do you set up your add-ons. So, yeah, we'll just keep... It's great. We've got you guys in the chat. We have got, between X and YouTube, we've got 107 people watching, 31 likes, guys. Continue to smash that like. I appreciate you guys. We're here for Rob Hunter. We're here for the man, the myth, the Death Raider. There was going to be an A in Death, but we had to push it out to make room for more killing. You understand?
Yes.
Like, that's how it had to happen.
That's exactly
what we did.
It had nothing to do with a YouTuber who
that's right.
Named Death Raider.
Yeah,
nothing
to do with that. It's distinct.
No.
It's different. Leave us alone. Yeah, hashtag blame Cecil. Poor Cecil. What is Cecil going through? I use Pirate Ship for my is it Keishi's? Is that right? I haven't used it a lot. Oh, that's right. The Muscles figures, Eric. I know what you're talking about. I just call them Muscles figures because I'm slow. I'm like Simple Jack chasing butterflies with a hammer. But it's those are amazing, by the way, Eric. Those are amazing. I have to at some point get you to do a Nosfero or a Spring Ball. I've got to figure out how to make that work because I'm a huge fan of your stuff, Eric. That stuff, I love miniatures. I love Lamp, as you guys know. But I've been looking at these H.P. Lovecraft Death May Die miniatures for that role-playing game, even though I don't know really how to do it because they're so beautifully done. And hey, Grey Wolf, we got some great channel members in the house. Rob had me at death, says Scorpio. Indeed.
Oh, yeah.
Indeed. Yep. We love this stuff, guys. You guys are the best. We appreciate you. Art of Roy. Let me see if I can click on this. I just missed it. Why are you guys in CG so afraid to ask for help? Phrase I made up. A closed mouth does not get fed. Amen. Art of Roy. I would love to say we're proud, but I think it's also that we're boomers. It's a little mixture of both. That's the way it goes, man. And you know what's so funny is I will give you an honest, as I can come up with answer just thinking for myself about it is there are so many plates spinning. I think oftentimes I have to remind myself about things like eat dinner. Like I came off of work today. Rob, we put this stream together in what? A couple of hours, from start to finish.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just building stuff as soon as I get home. And, it's because we're really passionate about this stuff. And that's why we're so grateful when you guys are in the chat saying, how do I do an add-on? Because you guys are our eyes and ears for the user interface on this stuff. Because I wouldn't have thought, I remember this, I think it was Phil actually, but I could be wrong. But I think it was Phil who said, I want to get the art books 1 and 2 with the head sketched here. And you got to understand, guys, for me, I dream at a certain level. And with the first Nosfero campaign, I was thinking, man, I hope I make $5,000 on this thing or this is going to be a bloodbath. And then all of a sudden people are saying, I want to buy a tier where we have everything you've ever thought. And I'm like going, but why? Mark's Music Obsession, I'm looking at you. We've got Katie Did in the house. My dear, it is great to see you. How are you doing, Katie Did? Fantastic to have you here. But, there's so many amazing and creative and talented people. It was like when I did the, and Ethan was great because same thing I did with you. I was like, hey, man, can you send me some images? And Ethan sent me some stuff. Graham sent me some stuff for that trailer. I was going, he wanted to get Fearsome moving and get Fearsome to 100K. And the thing with it is that when you go to your pitch, having a trailer is really useful for that. And, you can only imagine the amount of plates Ethan has been spinning for the last couple of months, if not more. And I didn't know this, but I just thought, okay, I have some time and I love Alfred Hitchcock. This will be a fun editing exercise. Sergeant Politeness and I, hold on a second, 45 to the deck. I salute you, Sergeant Politeness. Number 679 for the ink and color cover. Hail
Nice.
Comicsgate. And
Fantastic.
the ladies would like a word with you. And when you get a cheerleader, the dog gets a bone. Think about it, folks. You're feeding that dog. That's how it works. That's how it works. Yeah, here we go. Amoral Fat, 40 ounce. I respect you, my friend. Crazy Horse for life. Death Raider is the most important book in CG. You just don't know it yet, he says. Indeed, that's what we say here.
It's in some ways, it's true because I went to MegaCon. And MegaCon was May? I think the last one in May, and I talked to a lot of fellow professionals in comic books that I worked with when I was at Marvel and DC, and I asked them what they thought of YouTube and what they thought of crowdfunding, and they asked me, they're like, "Well, how's it going?" I go, it's a tough go. It is a tough go, but I go, I can see the massive potential. And they literally looked at me and said, "Oh yeah." And they literally looked at me and said, "Let us know how it goes." Is really what multiple, and I even because I still stay in contact with Dan DiDio from DC, and when he was working with Frank Miller on Frank's books, I actually emailed Dan. I go, "What's Frank think of crowdfunding? You think Frank would ever want to come over here and do some crowdfunding?" And Dan's quick answer back was, "Frank is old school, but you never know how things can change."
That's right. We got another shout out here. We've got Scorpiorpio number 645, I think, in terms of backing. And I love to see it. We love to hear about it. That is fantastic, my friend. This girl's for you. Like, I mean, they love you.
She's a little petite. She's a little petite.
Listen, if we can get Death Raider where it deserves to be, I am going to get her some Popeyes.
Oh,
okay, never mind. I don't think that's what you're talking about. But listen, I'm a brown and simple man.
Wait. You said Popeyes. You didn't say puppies.
Yes, that's right. I said Popeyes, sadly. And you know what that ends with? She's just sitting there watching TV, and I'm just eating chicken. That's how that would go, because, it's good chicken, that Popeyes. That's right.
Damn you, sir. Damn you.
Gotta find us some Dallas Cowboys great cheerleaders. Look, guys, I'm a humble and simple Death Raider merchant. That's how that goes.
There's a reason why I moved to Florida.
Hey, listen. I'm going to add that into this little bit, guys. This little Death Raider bit, guys. As you know, my Florida brothers have had a time. Heck, my non-Florida brothers, like Graham Nolan, he was so jealous.
Mm-hmm. He was missing out on the flooding.
I know, he felt very sad about it. Supporting creators is one of the best things you can do because it's not just the financial aspect. It facilitates the books, and with, God's good grace and with your support, that gets more eyes on it. People can tell their friends about it. So we want to get these stories out there. Every contribution helps. So again, I want to thank those of you who have backed the book during this stream already. Yes. If you have not backed it yet and you're in this stream, we are talking about Death Raider. Death Raider is a kind of, oh my gosh, a genre-hopping adventure story with really cool tech and almost like got this Jason Bourne quality to it. It's got this superhero quality to it and this sophisticated sort of science fiction quality to it that I really like. It's a very believable world, which comes through, I think, in the drawings that you see right now on screen. The sculptural quality that you give to your drawings creates this immaculate reality, and that makes it believable. Like, when I see Death Raider, he looks like Moon Knight on meth. Like, he looks ready to kick some ass, and I love that about him. Thank you. Badass.
When I originally started designing Death Raider, first off, his name was Raider, and then I realized when you Google Raider, the football team comes up. So I better, and my wife she's the one who said, well, you got to add something in front of that. What's wrong with you? So she came up with the death part. And I'm like, oh, that's so smart. What a great idea. That's why I married you, because you're the smart one. But when I first started designing it, I literally just started with a Moon Knight drawing. A Dave Finch Moon Knight drawing. I looked at it and I'm like, I'm a huge fan of Taskmaster from Marvel.
Oh, hell yeah.
I loved Moon Knight. I loved the costume, the cape. Raider originally had a white costume, like a white cape. Like there's all these elements, and it just became as I was like, I literally left it when I first created Raider. It was supposed to be for Phenom Comics, and I pitched it to my boss, but it was a half drawn sketch. It wasn't really, literally all I had was the name Raider and a half a finished sketch and just an idea of what I wanted to do. But it was because I wanted to leave the sketch open, because I wanted the artist that we were working with at the time, Mel Ruby, to draw it. And I'm like, well, Mel's going to want to add his own influences, his own, to the character. So we all will own a piece of it. When that didn't work out, when the boss said no, that's when I really started fleshing out like what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it, which characters do I really like. And I also kept coming back to my biggest influences now are like a lot of video game type of stuff and the realistic kind of feel to them. And because I for a long time, I would look at video games and go, this is what video games are doing that comic books aren't doing anymore. They are doing all the exaggeration that we aren't doing anymore. So I looked at a lot of video game stuff, it's kind of funny. The Brad Booth cover, he really streamlined Death Raider's costume to make him more believable. I had him junked up like a tank because he was a military dude, and it's also the first version. I always, like Iron Man has 50 armors. I always like, this is armor number 1 for Death Raider, and I can keep doing new designs. Yeah, well, and new artwork.
I've got an interruption for you here. I'm sorry. I apologize. I blame Willie D. Willie D, if you're not subscribed to my channel, with that freaking profile pic, I love it. Just please do, so I can see that every once in a while. Rob, I'm in at number 680. It looks great. And so here you go. We salute you, my friend. We salute you. Beautiful.
We all know that's Mankind. We know that's Foley. He's a big
That's right. It is fan. Foley, man. Yes, indeed.
He did the icon without saying he's Mick Foley.
So. Amen. Well, he's got to, sometimes it's difficult. You got to try to have a little bit of anonymity every now and again. He comes in, he drops the big bucks, and he's like, people, please, I can't. And here we go. Art of Roy says, Rob just saw the inks on that Booth cover. Sweet, but slap a watermark on the 4K pic or folks will steal it. There you go. There's a little bit of concern from Art of Roy there. Now, did you get the add-ons updated? Are they working? Let us know in the chat. Anybody trying to add on?
I think I got them working. I don't know why he said 4K though. You can't.
No, I think he's just saying it's high resolution. I think that's what he means.
Because Twitter doesn't let you upload it to a very high resolution.
Oh,
anyways.
yeah.
You got to have a fairly low resolution in the first place. So.
Now, were you able to update the add-on perks? Because I want to see if anybody's tried it and see if it works for them.
I think I did. I think I did.
Make sure go in there, and if you did hit save and continue, and then save campaign right after. All right, so we've got that down, guys. For those of you who wanted to back the Brett Booth cover as an add-on, so you wanted to back another copy and then back the Brett Booth, would you please let us know in the chat? Would someone try to do that and see if that's possible to do add-ons? And just let us know in the chat if that's possible. We want to move some Death Raider books today because, Rob and I think the first interaction we had was when you were a new Comicsgate King and I was doing another round of intros back in the day. And I had such a blast doing yours because the artwork and the song was such a good mesh. You know what I mean? It's just a rockin' art style and it's a rockin' song. And so do let us know, guys, if it's working. let us know if those add-ons are happening right there, because we want to make sure you guys can get what you get. Bruce Campbell's chin, Dr. Doom, but the good guy. I like where your head is at, Bruce Campbell's chin. Yes, indeed. He's like Dr. Doom, but he's curb-stomping bad guys or bad aliens. That's how it works, man. I love it. Beautiful. He's not wrong, says Doc Brewski. That's right. Christopher Bouchard says, Rob just backed the Brett Booth ink and color cover. I'm number 681, and I already backed cover B, number 282.
Nice.
Wow, I don't know what to say. Charge! You see, Rob, this is how we're gonna get this campaign moving, man. You've put so much work into this, and this week is a culmination. It's a celebration, and having the Brett Booth cover and all of that, because guys, we don't just want to make this book a smash, we want to make this book a smash for selfish reasons, so we can get book 2. The goal is always our own evil readership self-interest, so let's back this book so we can make Death Raider 2 a smash as well. Let's get this book moving.
Especially when people get to the end of Death Raider 1. It's a big cliffhanger.
Well, it's a big cliffhanger, but like, the end of Death Raider 1 is 72, page 72. Yes. It's a great volume.
72 pages.
Yes. So cool.
I've got.
What were you thinking, Rob? No, sorry, go ahead. 72 pages.
Well, honestly, I went through this with I went through this with Andy and Andy Smith, because he's a good friend of mine. We worked at Crushton together, and he goes, "Man,"
awesome.
he goes, "That's a lot of pages, Rob." He goes, "Why?" And I said, I'm going to be brand new to Comicsgate. I'm going to be brand new to YouTube. I go, I hope the art will sell the book. Because I'm not really, I'm not the entertaining guy on YouTube, like everybody knows. I laugh, I make some jokes, but anybody who goes to my YouTube channel, I'm not trying to entertain, I'm trying to inform, which is, but 72 pages because I wanted 72 pages of artwork to sell. To be honest, because I had a story that I wanted to tell. I wanted to tell it a certain way. I also I really felt like on the back end, selling the artwork to a book that everybody really liked would bolster and, really let me do the next issue or the next 2 issues or whatever.
Yes.
But I did not realize, especially the first year, how long it was going to take to do those marker renderings with the photo reference I used. So the book, instead of the artwork taking 6 months, it took a year of full time, and then another, I don't know. I think after the first year, I was mostly done with the black and white artwork, but that's when the campaign wasn't big enough to get a colorist. So then I had a color, and that really took that's what added the extra year, because now I'm having to do freelance to pay the bills. So it really was like half the month I was doing freelance, half the months I was trying to learn to color and then letter.
It was the same with Nosfero, it was 2 years to paint this fully painted comic. So year 1, I had to sell my son, and year 2, my daughter, I had to sell her as well.
Oh, no. I understand, though. I understand.
Yeah. And I said, listen, Daddy has a dream, and they were like, but what about us? And I said, I like, it was, anyway, God bless you, wherever you are, I love you and I miss you. And so we had a question here. Rob, what cover did you decide to go with for the midnight version? Asks Scorpiorpio. He's just trying to make me say his name as many times as possible.
It is half finished in my file cabinet.
There it is.
So
ready and waiting.
When I finish it, that will be the cover. So I honestly kind of wanted it to be a surprise, like people just got it in their box. Like if they order that midnight cover and they're like, "What the?" I don't know if that's the best way to market issue 1, but it might be a great way to market issue 2. Great way to
man, it sounds awesome, man. I highly recommend you guys build in points in the story and art where you can end it at 22 pages so you can break the books down into, 2, 3, 4, 5 single issues for later comic shop sales. You know what's wild is the thing about these books, and that is a really great idea, Art of Roy. The thing about these books that's interesting is, because we're starting these things from zero, like this is your introduction to not just Death Raider, but this entire narrative world that he's inhabiting. You've got aliens, you've got super soldiers, you've got all of these different elements of it, and here he is, standing, against them, and that's the thing that's amazing. Simply Green was talking about my kids. Your college funds can wait. That's how it goes, guys. Yes, indeed.
The answer, Roy, when I initially launched Death Raider, I had it built into the campaign with stretch goals that if it did a certain number, I was going to release digitally to everyone every 2 months, 20 pages of the book, because I felt like the gap between Comicsgate and crowdfunding and comic book stores is people are used to getting the book every month. You're used to getting your book every month. Well, I felt like if I could deliver up to 20 pages every 2 months of my book digitally to everyone, then they would get their comic book fix. And then when the project was finished, the book would ship and then they would have it in paper form.
I mean, there's something so great too about, and that's what you guys are really funding as well. I mean, it's people. I think people don't appreciate, people who are not backers of these of comics in any form. I mean, maybe they haven't heard of it. It is weird for some people. The first time they do it, they're not exactly sure what it means. You guys are paying for supplies. You're more than just buying a comic book. You are investors in this comic book. And you guys know there is risk, and I always want to see when you see somebody like Rob, you have to have that discipline, dedication, and commitment to finish something as monolithic as 72 pages done to this quality. And that's why I think it's so important to get as many people backing the book. So again, thank you so much to everybody who's backed during this stream. If you haven't backed and you are backing right now, whether it's you're watching us on X or you're watching us on YouTube, please come into here. You can comment on X, and I think it will show up here in Ecamm. So I'm fairly sure I can see that. But please let me know your backer number so we can thank you properly with a cheerleader, because this campaign is, I think, closing in on $27,500. We're about $54 away from that. And so I want to see if we can get this campaign to 28K as soon as we can, guys. That would be fantastic, because 30 is our minimum goal. We want to try to get ourselves to 30, and I know we can do it because people are feeling pumped right now. People are feeling enthusiastic about these books. I've got a Comicsgate, library happening. I mean, I've got my CYBERFROG and Heather Swain I just opened on stream the other day. With I think I was opening those with Shane when he was opening up his McFarlane statues. I've got, let me see what I've got here. I've got Ghost of the Badlands down there, but I've got both of Graham's Monster Island books right here with the retro covers that I love so much.
Cool.
I've got Operation Zephyr, which was one of the bonuses for Battle Brick Road, which I have right here. And then Eric Weathers, that link for his campaign is in the description right there, and I have a contribution to his poster book, and I have Kitaru Witch Hunter by Von Klaus, which is right here. Like, it is Comicsgate in a stack of books right here, and that's what I love about it. That's what I love about CG. And guys, Death Raider is why we're here. That's what we're pumped about. So if you back, do let me know your number. If you posted your number and I missed it, please do let me know. Is Emo having a stroke? Do we need to call 911? I hope not. I hope Emo's okay. Emo, let us know in the chat if you're all right. This is a chat, not a DOS prompt, says Amoral Fats 40 ounce. So tell me about your process a little bit when you're doing these pages. You mentioned markers and you mentioned ink. When was that? When did that become your process? Was that during the freelance period, or was that during, you know, the DC Marvel time?
I knew what I was good at, and I knew what I really needed to work on. That I was going to need help with photo reference and stuff to
Sure.
you know, make my work, push it to the next level. Plus, I also had an idea, adding using the photo reference to, you know, mix a little bit of that the photo reference with the Dave Finch, the Top Cow, all that kind of stuff, inks
Sure.
and rendering that I had been learning for the last 20 some years, because it's a lot of times that was the guys they would pair me up with. So I just knew, because I was coming into a marketplace and a group where I wasn't even like, I started a Twitter page, you know, 4 years ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
Sure.
I read some of the things that were on there, and I'm just like, well, fuck this. Like, here's the thing. I'm the guy who, back in the day, do you remember previews when it was the big fat phone book?
Oh, of course I do. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I would flip through that while I was in the industry and go, why wasn't I offered that project? Why wasn't I offered this project? Why wasn't I? So it would just infuriate me, because they look like so many fun comic books that I never got offered. So when you go on Twitter and people are posting like, oh, look at what I'm doing. Look at what I'm doing. I was just like, well, that just makes me crazy, because I'm like, well, that would have been super fun to work on. So, I'm, you know, that's just my temperament. When it comes to comic books, I take it super ultra serious, you know?
Yeah.
So when a really shitty, like, especially when I was just inking, a really shitty inker gets a gig, you're not supposed to take it personal, but I would always take it personal. Like, you know, you literally kicking me in the balls because I didn't get a phone call or an email. That guy's terrible. Why would you have that guy? So, I always wanted to insulate myself from that, and insulate myself from a lot of the social media stuff. But because of that, that's a long way around to get to. So I kind of ignored social media. I was on Facebook. That was it. I really ignored it. When I would dip my toes into it, would be like, oh, I've got a week off. Let me see if I could pick up a commission or two. So I just knew I had to do and add more to my artwork to make an impact. That's really what it came down to. And I got into comic books because I felt like if you work really hard, it doesn't matter who you are, or whether you can network with people. It's kind of funny, all the things that I got wrong. But I thought my work would speak for itself, and it wouldn't fucking matter who my friends were, or who didn't like me, who didn't dislike me. My work would always. So that's how I thought I'd make an impact here on YouTube. This is my work. I'm gonna put 200% into it. It will speak for itself. Now leave me alone. But
yes, as we learn,
that's not it. That's not it at all.
Well,
you can't.
You know what's so funny is too. It's such a hail, sorry, my brother's in the house. Timmy Mello, it is great to see you, my friend. Have you backed Death Raider yet, my friend? We're talking right now, as you know, with Rob Hunter. I know Timmy Mello is an old hand. He knows what's going on. That's what this chat is right now. You guys are the best. And you know what's so funny is one of the turning points for me in this entire Comicsgate indie journey is, so I got on Instagram. You know, and I had been teaching. I taught college, and I was a teacher in general for 20 years. And
I can tell.
So I was doing that stuff, and that was hard. I was an introvert, and thank God, that I did that, because it did help me a little bit with this. But I was watching a stream with John Malin, and he was, he was being subtle, as he often is, and he says, "Stop telling me you're introverts. I'm an introvert. Most of us are introverts. Stop using that excuse. Get your ass on YouTube. You're indulging yourself. What, you're special because you're an introvert?" He's like, you think I like, having to go out there and learn how to do this? But get your ass out there and start learning. And you know, it was really funny because I hadn't had guests on with Ecamm, so I didn't even know how to do it. And John said, I want to come on your show and see how it works. And he was like, you need to get on StreamYard till you can figure this out. And that's the kind of kick in the pants, and that's also the kind of support that you need. And there's nothing, the thing I don't want to miss out on, and the thing I don't want Death Raider to miss out on for sure, and speak of the devil, and Eric Huffles will post a link to his campaign. The thing about it for me is that I don't want the things I do and the campaigns I do to underfund or not be successful because of things that I could be doing. Obviously we don't have infinite time, but the chat and the folks who support the channel, all of my channel members, thank you guys so much. You guys are the folks who say things like, oh, I need this add-on, why isn't it available? Like leaving money on the table because something is in your blind spot. You know, it's outside of your periphery. The chat lets you know. And folks who are, what a gift it is, by the way, to all of you guys watching this. If you haven't ever heard me say this before, we've got 136 people watching this right now. I appreciate you guys on both X and YouTube. Thank you guys. Again, if you back Death Raider, let us know in the chat. But guys, it is such enthusiasm for what we're doing and financial support for what we're doing is such a gift. I don't know if it's ever possible for us to articulate it, because it is, you know, you're in isolation, you're working hard on this thing, and you're trying to make manifest a dream through just grit and discipline and talent. But the one thing we cannot give ourselves is that kind of enthusiasm and that fire that you guys give us. When I saw, like, I was going through my Twitter timeline yesterday, and I was just looking back to get a timeline on Nosfero and what I did, and I got to all the posts I had shared of people getting their Nosfero packages, and all of it came back to me. And that's what's going to be the most amazing part. When you guys get Death Raider, that's something you can do for Rob and his family in a way that is almost indescribable what it means to see all of these folks getting this thing you worked on, getting over that finish line, and they're holding the book in their hands. So please, 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 if you have not yet, support Death Raider, because I know you guys are awesome, and you guys are going to make it exponential, because nothing says I can take this creator seriously like seeing that the books got to people's hands and they shared it online. That there's nothing like that, and that's what you guys do. You're our best advertising by far, by a country mile. Sorry, Rob. Let's just go on.
No. I appreciate it, because I do. I will make some silly comments just trying to get reaction, and you do a very good job of turning the ship back into the wind.
Right into the iceberg. I hear what you're saying. Rob's like,
it's. You know what, the one thing I would love, I want to find, and hopefully I will with experience, that middle ground, because I do see, like John says, you got to get on YouTube, you got to talk to the people, you've got to pitch your stuff. But I read chats. I read the chat scrolling by going, if you guys could do 2 books a year, that would be fantastic. Or where's my book or whatever. There's that middle ground. I don't know where it is. I mean, especially I don't, because like I disappeared for 4 months because I'm like, I got to get my shit done. I got to get this black and white artwork done. I had hoped that the fans would have appreciated it more when I did that. I did. I got emails though. I got emails going, dude, I know that what you're doing right now is a big sacrifice, because you're not on Kings. You're not on Pontificators. You're posting artwork, but you're not on any of this YouTube, because you know you got to get the book done. You got to push through the artwork. So I would like to know what that happy medium is, where I can keep the YouTube fans happy and the books moving.
The happy medium is everything you can possibly give. And the funny thing about that is that I think it really comes from just getting comfortable with it. And the more uncomfortable you start out, the more, like, I had this conversation. I think I had this conversation with Eric, and because I was telling him what was going on with me at one point, and I said, the longer I stay off of and get out of the habit, the worse it is to come back to it. The more stressful it is. So when people see me talking about this stuff and making trailers and things like that for people, I'll tell you this secret, and it really is true, is that this is where my teaching comes in. I was always much better at helping students lay out their portfolios, helping them with their cover letters, helping them pitch themselves, than I was at advocating for my own work. So when people see me being enthusiastic about it, I had 20 years of advocating for artists and trying to help them get the word out. When it came to myself, like, I am much more fluid and off the cuff talking about, I'm liquid is what I'm saying. No, but I am much more fluid talking about somebody else's project. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's easier
I can see
for me sometimes.
I just got an email from our T-Bear. Goes, hey, man, we can talk about the Death Raider closeout on Pontificators Wednesday night. And the first thing I said is, Clint just launched his book. We got to talk about his too.
Yep. I was there. Yeah, I saw that in the chat, and I'll say this too. And you know what's so funny? And I completely understand. Kyle, this is the thing for me about it is everybody is launching and closing too close together. Although in this particular case, this campaign has had a 2-year run since its launch. But I appreciate what I appreciate about your comment is it is another reminder of how often we have to be trying to get the word out, because getting the word out about it when someone's finding out about it at closing week and it's been there for 2 years, that's what the thing always makes me go, oh my God, someone hasn't heard about Nosfero. What am I doing wrong? And how can I do a better job of getting out the word? Yep. You know what I mean?
Well,
I appreciate that, guys, and we have to do that. Yeah.
Well, it's just like the booth cover. The booth cover I was supposed to save that for issue 2. And I realized there's not going to be an issue 2.
If I don't get that booth cover out.
There, if I can't get the numbers moving, there won't be an issue 2 of Death Raider. So I'm like, what am I waiting on? This booth cover literally is going to just sit as a blue line in my file drawer, and I go get a regular job, and that's it. And people will be like, dude, can you imagine, like, showing someone 10 years later, like, oh yeah, I tried the crowdfunding thing. I was on YouTube, and they're like, oh yeah, dude, I got your Death Raider. And they're like, I remember when you put it out. And then they're going through my, I'm just showing the studio, and they're like, oh wow, look at all the artwork. And they're like, what the fuck is this, Rob? I'm like, oh yeah, this is a Brett Booth cover that I never, it just didn't. It was supposed to be for issue 2. They would just be looking at me going,
and you're
what are you doing, bro?
But that's the thing too, and I want to shout this out to Eric Huffles saying, Blue Bombshell returns by Clint Holinsky, new bad guys, Thundercock and Super. You guys know. Read it yourselves. Battle of Bombshell. God, Battle the Bombshell. Back it. Thank God for the chat. And here's the other thing too. I love this. Awesome One says I was sharing books on other people's streams. I didn't mod, and people backed books. That's right. Death Raider by Rob Hunter. Eric Huffles is saying here, a reminder, the Indiegogo. Guys, we are right now at 27,446. Is there somebody who can back? We've got the add-ons locked up. Can we get to 27,500? We just need $54 more. Is there somebody on X watching this right now? Is there somebody on YouTube watching this right now? And if you haven't hit the like button, please do. Please share out the stream. Is there a way we can get this to 27.5? That would be great, guys. We are so close. Who hasn't backed this in the stream? We are dangerously close, dare I say.
And I will add, after the stream, I'm going to go back in to the campaign and make sure everything is set up the way I think it's supposed to be set up. So that if you did have a problem with something, don't get frustrated. I'm going to make sure, because I think it's still set up where, like, if you never back Death Raider and you want to grab the booth cover and then add on, I don't know if I set that up correctly, so you can add one booth cover, then cover A, then cover B. I think it's still set up where if you were going to get like cover B and the booth cover, you've got to pick cover B and then you can add the booth cover to it.
Yes.
So I think I still got to fix that problem, which I will before I go to bed, I promise. So
yes, we must. We must, my friend. It has to happen. I mean, it's that's the stuff that is exciting for me anyway about it, is the fact that, you know, being this excited about it and being this, you know, seeing people who are putting their heart and soul in this. I look at this artwork on screen and I just think this is going to be something that you are thrilled to have in your collection. You know, and that's, to me, you're supporting art, you're supporting artists. We could not do this stuff without you guys. I know I've said this a lot, but we can do this stuff because of you guys, I guess is the better way of saying it. You know, so guys, please, if you haven't backed it, make sure you do. You know, because I really want to see this. No, oh no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Timmy Mello coming in the clutch saying, backer 682.
Wait a minute,
right
he's saying Baker. He's making cookies.
He says Baker 682. They call him the chef. That's what they call him. I'm just saying he's a wolf. He's a wolf, and I gotta say this, and a wolf is out on the prowl. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Thank you very much.
I declare y'all were right on time. Shanth was just early. I agree. That's right. No one was late today. I was just early. So let's see here. I think everything... Do you have your campaign pulled up so I can share it? Why don't you share that with me again, and let's see where we are. I'm dying to see where we are.
I better get out of the
get out, log out. So it's not like... So, Rob, if you could just enter your social security number in the chat, I'd like to see how we're doing.
Oh, that's not worth anything now. Not after the last couple of years.
Dude, listen, I was watching the stream when Cecil was updating his thing on camera, and then he clicked to the next screen, and it was his phone number and his address, and I was like, oh my God, no. All right, so let me see.
All that stuff does show up when you kick out of perks, doesn't it? There's that page after perks where I'm like, why do you keep showing me this info over and over again? All right,
make sure whatever you do, that you, let me see if I can get this on here. Where was this?
Are we sharing? I don't have two monitors, so.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get to the share part. Let me see if I can find this. Is it this one? I think it is. Okay, cool. I've got this one, and then I've got Death Raider. I'm gonna get rid of that, and then we've got the campaign. What are we at? Have we refreshed? Where are we? Let's go up to the tippy top and see where we are.
$4 away from.
We're so close. Come on. Yeah, refresh. So how many backers have we got? We are $4 shy. A digital copy will get us there. Anything will get us there. A donation of $4 will get us there. We are right on the cusp.
If they get if they grab the PDF package. The PDF package comes with everything.
The PDF package comes with everything.
Comes with everything, so that just automatically includes all of the different the booth covers and all that good stuff. So
that's right. Rob, follow Shanth's lead. Shanth's being a great wingman. Just accept the sex. Rob didn't kill it with the face words.
I always kill everything with face words.
Oh really my lord, you guys are glorious. You guys are glorious. And Eric Huffles is dropping more links in the chat than Oscar Meyer. He's got Death Raider by Rob Hunter right there, guys. We just need one more backer. You have to figure between 134 people watching us live now on X, on YouTube combined, we have got it. $4. Where is Shane Davis? When I need him, he can be here. $5. That's what I need from Shane.
Wait, is that Shane or is that Mange though?
You know, where does one stop and the other begin? We have to wonder. And again, that Brett Booth. Come on, let's linger on this. I feel like let's sit back, have a cigarette, and take a look at this Brett Booth cover. It's beautiful, man. It looks great.
He did such. You know what? I used to occasionally have the opportunity to ink Brett at DC.
Nice.
And inking this cover did make me a little sad for, you know, I had so much fun when I would get the chance to ink Brett. I got to ink him on an Aquaman cover. We did a Green Arrow 52 issue 1 or issue 0.
Yes.
I think the issue 1. So we did a bunch of fun stuff. It really was whenever Norm Rapman was out of town.
Yes.
I would get the stuff sent to me like in a hurried FedEx box on a Friday. The turnaround by Monday. But he's a stud. There's a reason. He's one of the best in the business, and it was a privilege and a joy to ink it, and that he said yes to, because I was like, oh, I don't know if Brett's gonna, say yes to this. And, I asked him. I mean, this thing sat in my box in the file cabinet for over a year. I mean, it's actually labeled 2023. So,
oh my gosh. There it is. Oh my gosh, man. So, Robble13 is here. I'm late watching Warlock with the fam. Hey, that's always a great thing, spending time with the fam. We salute you, channel member. We're glad you're here. We're trying to push Death Raider to 27.5, and Grey Wolf says just backed for $7.
There you go. We did it.
Refresh. Can we? Let me get a cheerleader first, and then we got to... And how good is this artwork? How good is this artwork? Let's refresh and see what happens.
There it is.
Yay! Yes. Woo! Great job, Rob. Great work and great job, brother. I'm loving it. Bruce Campbell's chin, and I love you, man. That is one of the greatest handles on the internet. Says, it's payday on Friday. I'm going to get in there. Yes, indeed. That is a sick piece of artwork. Yeah, Brett Booth crushed it. You can get that as an add-on. You can get that as a solo cover. You can get that any which way but loose, people.
Oh,
we're trying to move this thing.
And inks. You can get that ink and color. You can get that as a it will be the black and white ink cover with black and white interiors.
Yes,
I thought that was probably the most interesting of the variant books that I came up with. I'm just like, and if you go for the package deal, which is expensive, I understand. You get a exclusive the full color cover. Brett Booth cover will be a 11x17 poster, and I will be doing a remark, Death Raider remark on the black and white variant book, the one that's black and white. The cover is black and white, and the interior is black and white. I thought it'd be cool to do a remark on that for anybody who picks up that package. So
do me a favor too as well. I don't know if you're in the chat on YouTube, but if you could just type a comment in the chat on YouTube, I want to mod you to make sure that whenever I'm streaming, you can come in here and you can drop links. I want to make sure I do that. And the other thing is, guys, I have to tell you this. If we get any more backers, do let us know. You guys are crushing on the likes. 49 likes. We got 137 viewers between here and X. Thank you guys so much for supporting Rob. Rob is just doing incredible, breathtaking work, and it's the kind of stuff that I get excited about when I see Comicsgate books coming out with that level of craft. And I think Ethan had said this recently, but about when he was praising Ghost of the Badlands, which is a book that is a stunner, story, art, everything. Really love that book. And I have a painting in the back of that book, so I was really excited to get it. And really glad to have been able to work with Razor Fist. Those are the books that I show people when I go, this is what our fans are making happen. And Death Raider is going to be one of those books you can go, this is what I helped make happen. This is powered by folks like me. We are changing things. There you go. I've got Rob in there. Let me make you a mod so we have that sorted for future use. It has to happen, guys. Thank you so much. I have to say this. Because he's a legend in the chat tonight, I just backed all of the PDFs, number 685, Scorpio.
Nice.
You knew you were going to get me once. Just backed 685 So we gotta refresh this thing again, and I'm sending to my cheerleader first. So let's do this, and then we'll refresh. Charge! Oh my god, I gotta fix this.
It's nice even number.
There you go. It's a nice even number. 27,520. It's nice to know I'm not the only one hanging out near the spectrum. And I want to tell you
Hey, wait a minute.
I have a 3-disc Blu-ray set called... Oh, actually, it's right here. That's how sad and sick it is, so you know I'm not lying. It's called HD Trains. You're probably saying to yourself, Rob, what's the story? It's just trains going. And so chances are I have what's called a beautiful and a special mind. And I have to tell you guys, Orpeo, he's killing me now. This is so great. You have been an absolutely outstanding supporter for Rob, and you guys are making this happen. And unfortunately, Amoral Fat 40 Ounce said not to bring down the Energon Cube level, but the add-on perks aren't live for Booth. I think they have to be added one by one. So we're going to get that. We'll get that sorted for the next stream. We're going to do that for sure.
Yeah. Yes, I will. As soon as this stream's over, I will fix that. Yep. I even said that. I wasn't sure if that was, I had set that up. So I will get that situated. And I do. Amen. I apologize to everyone. It really was. It's been over a year since I set this up. And for me, because you know that you are one of those, or you have a friend who knows, where if they do something once, they can then just repeat it and do it over and over again. Like my wife is that way. She's very smart. I can figure out how to do something, and then like this, a year and a half later, I open up the page and I have no effing clue what to do. Yep. It might as well just be a brand new to me, and I've never seen it before.
Yeah. I mean, guys, when you guys back this book, and thank you for sharing the link out. I really do appreciate it, Eric Huffles. Death Raider is a book that is deserving of your support, and Rob has really put his nose to the grindstone and to craft 72 pages. And when you're reading a book like this, what's so cool about it is that, and this is what I like about opening up Comicscape books, and this is what I like about opening up Razor Fist books. You have this sort of moment before you open up where you go, I have no idea where this is going. Everything in this is going to be new. Everything in this is going to be something that I haven't read before or I haven't seen before. And, you know, that's what I can't imagine getting to the end of Death Raider Book 1 without some kind of knowing that I'm going to have Death Raider 2. And we have the chance to make that happen, you know, on these streams, and this is going to be a big week. Now, Rob, tell everybody where you're going to be while we wait to see if we get any more last-minute backers here. Where are you going to be this week? You said you were going to be on, is it Professionals or Pontificators, or which one was it?
I will be on Pontificators Wednesday. I will be on. I will be doing a show during the day with Vaughn. I will be excellent. Vaughn and we worked at Phenom, so I've known Phenom for quite a while. Vaughn. Yep. And then Thursday, I will be with Billy Tucci.
Excellent.
In the evening. Friday, I will be with, is it John's Comics? I'm already confused. Let me
John's Longbox?
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
Clint and I we did a show with him a month or two, and he's hosting me for the closeout. So that's Friday. Excellent. And then Monday morning, I will be with, when I start to get tired,
listen, I know
Katie did. I will do.
Yes, Katie did.
Monday morning with Katie.
Who was in the chat?
At 9:30. Yes, at 9:30 in the morning. And then, of course, I will be on Kings.
That's right.
Monday evening, and that will be the official closeout.
Yes.
And then depends on Mr. Malin's generosity whether I'll be on Kings after that. So
well, let's not get over, and thank you guys for posting all these custom emojis. I appreciate you guys. I love making these things. I want to say this: it's not so much going to be generosity on Malin's part. It's going to be him grabbing you by the scruff of the neck and then just dragging you onto the stream to make it happen. A Malin's love is quite different than that of a Square. That's what I've found. You know, it's a little bit of front hand, backhand, pimp slap in action. But you know what?
Mm-hmm.
It's I wouldn't have it any other way. And I was telling the missus that of all the there's so many things I'm grateful for, man. And there, Comicsgate for sure. You know, all the folks, like people got to understand. You know, I didn't even know what was going on, and we never people just don't know ever what's going on with people's lives. But sometimes you've got creators who've got a lot going on, and when you realize that, you learn about that stuff, and you go, wait, so you did an opening for my campaign, like exhausted with all of this emotional stress going on in your life. You know, John, he's like got to go out camping. He's got to then hide the body, and then he's got to help people launch campaigns, and that's a lot.
That's a lot of digging. That's a lot. You can't just cover the body up. You cover the body up.
It's not just bleach. It's lime.
Yeah, you got to dig a hole. You got to dig a hole. And let me tell you, anybody who hasn't picked up a shovel and dug a 6x4x4 or by 3 hole in a while. I just did not that long ago. It is a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. You know, and he actually said he's thinking of changing, you know, grab an oar to grab a shovel. And I don't know if that's good for us in terms of marketing and branding, but I'm with him. You know, he's never led us astray. So the thing is,
I still take pride that on one of King's, I made him laugh.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I made him laugh. I made him admit why he really liked that group of his, Ghost.
Yes.
I made him admit, I go, dude, you don't like it because of the music. You like Ghost because of the storytelling. That guy dresses up and puts the makeup on and makes sure that he looks younger every concert or whatever. And he just smiled and started laughing.
I think that's the thing that's so fun about this is it's the laughs, man. It's the laughs, and it's all of, you know, so to me, I think that's the thing that makes it all bearable, that makes it fun, is we get together and share these things and like pump each other up and sort of say, okay, let's do this because you guys in the chat know this. We're trying to build something, but there are, and this is not even a negative or positive comment. The infrastructure that of the bigger companies and things like that, for however rattled it gets or whatever financial straits they're in, it is set up and it's a much bigger machine. Our machine is free individuals who are choosing to back things and choosing to support us. They don't just go into, the grocery store, grab it off the rack, or go to the drugstore, grab it off the rack, or the Barnes & Noble. That's not what's happening for us. We're actually having to get them to come to whatever platforms we're on and get people to back it. And I just think that it's incredible that we've been able to do what we do. And that's why we know how important it is for us to be streaming and getting things out there and promoting each other. And Rob, I got to tell you, man, I'm sorry it's taken me this long to get you on, but I am so glad we did this. And anytime you want to come on and promote the book and promote what you're doing, you just let me know, man, and I'll be there with bells on,
I appreciate that, man. I'm a big fan of what you do. Dude, the intro you did kicks ass. I
love doing
every
that
time
stuff,
I see your paintings on Kings and stuff, I'm just like, oh, man, I can't do that. I can't do that enough.
You know what's so funny is I was looking for you guys my whole life. I think all of us sort of feel that on a certain level, I said that to I think I said that to Eric Weathers the other day when he sent me an image of like a Howard Pyle painting that he was looking at, and I just go, man, I can talk to somebody about Howard Pyle's artwork. I can text back and forth with somebody, and it's the same thing with Bancroft when we were talking story and talking about the Lucent painted death. It's the same thing with Vaughn when he's talking about story structure, how he likes to lay things out, with Terror in the Trenches and with Monster MD. And it's the same thing, talking to Shane about like what they do with shipping and promotion and what him and Yanzi are doing. And of course, I just unboxed Ethan's CYBERFROG action figure, and I'm just holding this thing in my hand and saying this is a crowd-funded action figure. Aaron Lepresti, who is an incredible guy just in terms of liking Monster cereal, but then we deduct points for hating Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein and the Wolfman. tragic, and Graham Nolan is my Monster Kid brother, and I love talking monsters with him, so I couldn't be happier to be in this space, man. And so I think what we're going to do now is stick around, because I want to talk to you about the Indiegogo, and see if I can help you with that. But let's do this. I'm going to play the credits that all of you channel members are in, and as I like to say at the end of every stream, my name is Shanth Enjeti. This is Shanth Enjeti Art, coming to you live from the heart of Lovecraft Country in the birthplace of American religious liberty. As I like to say, speak easy, stay gold, keep the faith, and peace be with you. And my sign language is probably terrible, but it is from the heart. So thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for moving this comic book. And Rob, thank you for coming on to talk about it and share it with everybody. I really
thank you, dude. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I always love being able to interact with the fans. They're
great.
The YouTube, all of this. It's the only reason I do cons was so I could talk comics with fans. So this is great. Thank you, everyone.
It's so fun, man. It's so fun. All right, here are the credits, and stick around, and we'll talk afterwards. All right?
Yep.
All right, my friend. Here we go, guys. Thank you so much.